Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. This is like my fifth time recording this because I keep recording it while I'm muted. All right, let's run through some charts. I bet everybody got hyped this morning on the green candle right here, didn't you? Again, it's nothing new. We don't need to get too hyped. We don't need to get too optimistic. I would say there is some potential for upside as long as we can maintain this structure that we're currently in, right? Because this is still a building long structure. So a building loan structure is still valid until it's not valid. When will I consider it not valid? Once we break the low over here, right? We need to stay within this OB or higher. This again would result in a double bottom or triple bottom. Again, the more times we test the same zone, no matter how high we push, the more the more weak that zone then becomes, right? So it's more likely that trend will reverse uh, if we continue to keep retesting this OB sitting at around 20,790. This is something ideally I would look for. So again, I'm still expecting that information of this move. So that's probably why you're like, okay, why the retest? Look, I'm gonna point it out to you. I know there's a big M here, right? So the M here could go through, and we could fall into this OB here, right, and retest the bottom again. Should we retest higher? Yes, I would not like a double bottom in this situation. But we've talked about DCA, key DCA zones, right? These are areas where you should be looking to dial in a certain percentage of your portfolio, as we talked about, not the highs but the lows. So from here, we're going to kind of push forward, and we're going to be like, all right, so we can continue as an M, and that information would then fill out here, right? Another information that I'm kind of looking at right now that's currently kind of forming is this information here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the M that we talked about the other day. That's where my example B comes from. My example B comes from the information here, which I think in reality should hold, and this will be their big push up before their big drop, right? That's my expectations for this move. This example B to play out at the end, but we'll see at the end of the day how that plays out. But that's kind of my expectations, is that we'll hold here, push up, and then when we come back to revisit this a fourth time, we'll then fall through the zone. Could we fall through now? Yes. Could we just go straight down? Yes. But again, we're looking for support, right? So if I was looking for a bounce off of here for upside of a maximum of 23,829, that's where I would take my stop. I would then go ahead and I would wait for price to kind of reach the bottom of the zone. Looks like we already have kind of. You could technically do here or wait for it to actually touch the line here because they might dip through a little bit, right? They might try and catch this move right here and then dip down into that and then reverse and then come down, right? I'm not expecting this to be a hard support or necessarily a bounce zone like what I have here for example A, but it's possible. That's why I put example A here. So these are some key things to look for right now. Again, right now the trend is down. If you want to take a spot long, all right, and I'm telling you right now, if you want to take a spot long, I would do it around the trend, sitting around 22.6. And then if price reverses from 22.6, price should come up, and I would expect a TP of 23,829. Because at that point, that's your get out, right? You don't care if price can push through. That doesn't matter. We need to look at resistance, right? This is our next resistance. If price breaks down, I would set my stop probably around like 22,346. That'll put you just below the previous liquidity right here, which is where I think that they're heading to right now. And if they're going to hold, they'll hold above that. If they start pushing through that, that's where things will be kind of become a problem. If you want to be extra safe, go 22,184. That'll put you just below the wick. And then if they dip in, they should bounce, and then I expect another down move to the previous OB. So be really careful right now. Bitcoin, this is what you have for Bitcoin. Um, Ethereum, let's look at it. So Ethereum, very very similar structure. I know a lot of people got hyped on this doji, but indecisiveness doesn't mean necessarily reversal. It can also mean continuation, right? So the trend is very bearish. We could then see that continuation to the downside. You can see right now, price did dip into our consolidation zone and then picked right back up, and now price is trying to press on top of the consolidation zone. So same exact move right here for Ethereum, I'm expecting. And then if Bitcoin breaks out, obviously Ethereum will break out also, which means Ethereum, if Bitcoin breaks out, Ethereum will push for this move right here, which will put them right up in here, right around 1843 or whatever. That's what I kind of have for that zone. So if that price goes there, if it goes information, Ethereum will be coming all the way back to the 1350-ish zone. And then, potentially this is kind of your vital position right here. Because if you break below this spot right here, you break below this OB, there's not a lot of room for Ethereum to really kind of bounce from. Again, we still got the lower high, so I'm still expecting a huge dump from Ethereum. I don't expect Ethereum to go, oh, I'm going to flip Bitcoin or anything like that. I just don't expect it. Price action wise, when I'm looking at price action, that's not what price action is telling me. Price action is telling me way overbought. The asset is not only way overbought, it's losing strength on the RSI, right? RSI is doing what? It's going down, losing strength. So be very careful. I would say with Ethereum, again, losing strength can be very bad, but another move you could be looking for potentially on Ethereum is Ethereum starts to break down. It comes down to the OB. Ethereum starts to break strength. It holds above the 50 and then comes back up and retests the high, right? And then we get a big dump from there. So if it comes back up and retests the high, that could be the breakdown to here, then the move up to 1850, and then we break down hard, right? That's my expectations right now for Ethereum. And again, I'm not saying it because I'm like, oh, well, Ethereum's just not going to break out. I'm saying it because if we look at the current trend, right? Economics is one thing, but the trend is what? It's bearish for all assets. So since it's bearish for all assets, I expect any huge moves to become huge breakdowns, right? Right now, structure is building. We're seeing building structure, right? So we had building structure in this zone, and now we have building structure in this zone. So this is the top end, the premium zone. This right here is the discount zone for the market maker. The market maker is going to continue trend. They'll stay above the discount. I'll stay above the consolidation zone. So it's like your consolidation. This is what I would consider the premium, right? So the market maker is basically selling off in this zone and then buying up in this zone, selling off in this zone, buying up in this zone. And this is how they build levels. And they do this. This is your level 1, right? So you got level 1. And let me go ahead and delete all this real quick. And then I'll show you this real quick. So level 1. Then you got level 2. And then we could see a level 3, right? And a level 3 would be, it's not going to be as big as level 2, right? So your level 2, kind of think of it like an Elliott wave. If we were to squeeze this together, you would essentially get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of this move. So you get your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your 5, right? And your 5 will come up and retest the highs. Not gonna be as much as your 3, but you know that this is where it's at. This is what I would look for. So I would kind of put my 1 right there. And we're kind of moving in these waves, right? So this is your level 1, level 2, and then I would say this right here would be like your level 3, right? So that could really kind of drop over here. We could see price then kind of come back up here. And from there, we should see an ABC correction to the downside. And I expect that to be pretty massive currently. So I'm expecting the 4 to come back down and retest these lows. It might test a little higher, right? We might test just above this this OB right here. So I would consider this right here potentially that they just try test that volume body. There's a good chance they come back into that, and then they bounce off that for 5, and then 5 comes up here. People scream, yeah, told you, and then price breakdown. So that'll put you right there. You can see right here clearly that's their breakout zone. That's the premium zone. They're not gonna allow price. They're not gonna let these people escape. So that's the price where people will just break even. This whole area, where they bought into the zone. So buy here, buy here, buy here. All the people that bought the tops. So this right here be your level 3 on Ethereum. And if price holds structure, guys, don't take this as gospel. If price breaks structure, it needs to remain above 1433. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we should see an ABC correction. Except these ABCs tend to be really bad, right? So this is a bullish momentum move, and I think it's that's typically how relief rallies go. So I think it is gonna kind of hold structure, but then we should get an A into a B into a C, right? And that should leave us much deeper than where we are now. That's what I'm expecting for the move. And you can see right here, if you do an Elliott wave pattern, right, you should be able to come up with this exact move. You can see the quakes and the moves and everything else in the move. It's just showing you everything that's going on structurally. So keep that in mind with the current move. Kind of something similar here, right? You can kind of see it right here on the weekly. but the daily I think is much better at kind of showing the structure. It looks really good though. I like the build structure. I think they're doing a really good job at building structure here. I just think that a lot of people are going to take this for gospel and they're going to think that prices have hit a bottom and they're going to move up massively, right? And I think that this will kind of light up. You know, if you look August and then right near the end of August, that's where I'm expecting them to start correcting price. Right about mid to end of August, and then start moving into September. We then see those big hits, right? And then end of September and in October, we kind of bottom, and I'm expecting some good moves up from there. So time wise, this looks beautiful. You can see the structure right here, looks good. I think they will try and make these moves to try and entice retail back into the market so they can get exit liquidity. Be careful with it. Like I said, that's what I would say with those two. SPX kind of in a similar move. So as you can see right here, I've had these kind of marked out for a while. Expecting price to come back up into this zone. Potentially probably hit about that 4,287 because we're getting good consolidation here. We did break above what I would consider semi good structure, right? So we've kind of broken above those zones, but we've done that before too here, right? So we have to be really careful with this move and make sure that this move can commit itself. I think if we start getting above 4,300 and then start moving to 4,400, we're looking good to find all this right here as, good support. I don't think we'll be reaching all-time highs. I think we'll kind of remain in these consolidation zones. But I think there is a scenario, and you can see right here with this information, I'm showing this really well. Like I don't even know when I drew this, but this was my expectations on the move, right? My expectations to hit this hard resist right here, right around 4,300, basically 4,290. And then we're gonna see some hard rejections down, I think, into a lower position for S&P. Too many people getting way too bullish, too much money on their hands. I don't know what it is. You got the same thing over here with ADA. It just keeps building. Look. Sorry, excuse me. You can see ADA's building in the same zone. It hasn't moved. Like there's nothing bullish about it at all right now. So just kind of relax on ADA. Matic could build higher. It looks like it's topping. I'll be real. This sideways consolidation, like these are your moves, right? This sideways consolidation, it could rip up one more time. Like I said, at $1.16, same thing I said last time. And then I think may potentially break down. I thought it would break down over here, but apparently they're going to keep floating price on this ceiling, this premium price though. But I'm expecting a pullback on Matic, and then maybe it'll make one more move before it comes back down hard. I would say overall DXY is kind of resisting on the zone. So this is like a resistance zone right here that I marked out. We'll see if it can break back through. I think we might see some more consolidation to the downside, and that'll allow assets to rip. And then I think from there we'll kind of see that big push. We're gonna see the dollar push up at some point through the year, probably around September, where it's just really just ripping, right? And when it starts ripping, I think a lot of these markets are gonna get destroyed. So keep your eyes on the prize and don't get too crazy in the market. Like I said, with DCA, what makes sense. We don't DCA just because of emotion. We got Tesla, same thing. Tesla's still finishing out the move to the top of the channel, expanding wedge, expecting a hard breakdown on Tesla. We're gonna see where this goes. I think it's I think a lot of people are about to get wrecked on Tesla. This is the biggest move yet on Tesla. Look at this big curve, and then they're gonna push all the way up just to get dropped. So be careful. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.